Hey everyone, thank you for stopping by my channel today. For those of you that are new here, my name is Kim and I am a retired part-time teacher working and living in Japan. In this playlist, we're comparing city life to country life if you're living in Japan. In the last video, we talked about events and activities, and although all the prefectures have their own special set of events and activities, I gave the point to city life. The next area I will talk about relates to people, friends, and work opportunities. Which is better, the country or the city? Well, once again, this depends on you. I think in country areas, maybe because they are smaller communities, you'll have a lot more opportunities to meet local people. In Tottori, most of us all found bars or restaurants that we liked, and that became our hangouts. And of course, when people come to visit you or you make friends, you take them to your hangouts. It's kind of nice having your neighborhood bar or your neighborhood restaurant or your place to go to if you're celebrating a birthday. I think too, if for work opportunities, because it's a smaller community, once you find a job that you really like or you make a connection with a place or a school, then you probably have more chances of staying there longer. So your chances for building a reputation, a business, a relationship with your workplace, or starting your own business, I think you have a pretty good opportunity in these smaller country areas. I think sometimes maybe the areas might be a little bit more traditional, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. Some places I think maybe will be more open to you wanting to open something or start your own after-school business. It was really easy to find freelance work as an English instructor because you make friends in your community and everything was so nearby. So sometimes I think the countryside has ample opportunities for that. The people, they might be a little bit less, I don't want to say less open-minded, because I think everybody, especially since after 1988, are a lot more internationally open-minded. But you may not find as many English resources. So maybe you'll need a translator or you'll need someone to help you at certain areas. In Tottori, they had an international club, so it was really easy to ask this international club for people to help translate things if you needed help. You can also ask the teachers at your school or people that were bilingual in your area. In the bigger cities, chances are they do have English menus, or they might have English translations of different documents or forms. Every medical place that I went to with my mom had English application translations. So it was really easy for her to understand what kind of medication she was getting, what they were asking her, what they needed to know. There are also, I think, a lot more places with people that speak English. So your doctors, your hair salons, your restaurants. Yeah, you just have a lot more, I guess, resources that can help you. But once again, nowadays with social media and apps, you can get translation services on your phone. So it's not as big or as crucial a deal as it was back in 1988, where you really didn't have anyone that could help you unless you asked them in person. I still remember, I just brought back a memory of carrying around my little pocket dictionary everywhere. I didn't even have an electronic one. Mine was a paper one. Papers folded, like different markers in place. But yeah, I used my little paper dictionary. A skill that I wonder if nowadays people have. Shows my age. As far as friends or people, maybe people in bigger cities have had more experiences traveling abroad or living abroad. Maybe a lot more have lived abroad, although in the country areas, it's kind of cool because you will find those people that left the countryside to go live abroad for a year, or they went on a different program to get a more international view. And yeah, once you find those people, it's like, oh gosh, and you have something to talk about and you make a connection with people. As for job opportunities, I think it depends on what your field is, on what your expectations as far as salary and benefits go. One of the reasons why I decided to leave Totori, because I love and miss Totori so much. I really would have, or I would have been so happy staying there for these past 37 years. But I also am a career-oriented person, and my career as a teacher was really, really important to me, is really, really important to me, because even now, as someone who is retired, I still enjoy teaching, and I'm not ready to give it up yet. I knew in my heart that as much as I loved Totori, if I wanted to advance and grow in my career, I needed to go to a different area. At the time, I thought it was Tokyo, or I thought it was the city, and I couldn't find any place in Tokyo that would hire me at that time. That's a whole nother video. But I did get a job in Osaka, and I thought, okay, Osaka's the next best thing. It's a city. It was right at the time when elementary school English education was just starting. It was just beginning. It hadn't been made a mandatory subject yet, but the schools that I worked at were schools that were the forefronters. Is that the word? Forerunners. That were being viewed as Mombosho pilot schools. The Ministry of Education designated several schools to do all this, do all these trial things with English education at the primary school level, and I was at one of those schools. So for me, that was huge. And the opportunities that grew from there, being able to do different workshops and meeting so many educators from all over the world, and being one of the people that was just starting out with elementary school English in Japan in public schools, was so important to me. So I took advantage of that. I do think those are the type of opportunities that you can find in city areas as opposed to country areas. Now, after that, I thought to myself, I love ESL. I love English, or teaching English as a foreign language, but my background and training is in elementary school education, and so I kind of missed having my own classroom, being in charge of a class and teaching a whole curriculum, not just English, but math and science and art and music and whatever other subjects came with elementary school education. And that's when I decided to go into immersion education. And I went into 2 different prefectures to do elementary school education at immersion schools. Those are both in what people would consider country areas. Yet those opportunities help me to grow and learn as an educator. So just because you're in a country area or a city that is not Tokyo or Osaka, you can find opportunities for your particular career path that will help you grow and ultimately get to the career dream that you have. Maybe if your field is something other than education, your path might be different. Maybe it's important for you to be in the bigger city areas, but you'd have to find a company or an area that your expertise or your skill set is needed. It probably helps if you have a strong fluency in Japanese for some of these company jobs, but there are other companies that don't require Japanese, that maybe are relying on your English or other language skills or your skill set, your IT experience to help in those company areas. So the job opportunities could be either in country or city prefectures, depending on what your skill set or what you're looking for. What you're looking for in terms of climbing up a ladder or longevity. For me, I was really lucky because I kind of didn't want to stay like this. And I really wanted to go like this. But I didn't know if it was possible. Luckily, I was really lucky and blessed, and I made choices that helped me to go like this. And I think that's primarily what most people would like. If I stayed in Tottori, I would have been happy, but I think I would have went like maybe and I probably wouldn't have gotten up to where I am now. It's hard to predict what your life is going to be like 30 years down the line, like with me. And I think you just have to kind of follow your gut on that one and just make sure you do your research and see where the opportunities lie. But I'm going to call this area, work, friends, and people, as being equal. And that one really depends on you personally and what your expectations are and how important it is for you to make friends. Because it is easy, I think, no matter in what area. But it depends, too, what your definition of friends are. It just depends what your definition is of friends. Do you want friends that you can hang out with every week and do things with? Do you want friends that are going to help you, be your support, your Rock of Gibraltar in different situations? Do you want friends that are going to, take you places or travel with? And I think you can find these anywhere in the world, actually. But it may mean coming out of your comfort level. Maybe instead of waiting for you to have the friends and people come to you, maybe you're going to have to be the one to go out and seek them. That's kind of, I think, what happened to me is I think I became a lot more open and talkative and adventurous. And sometimes adventurous in a very risky, bad way. But in order to make friends and branch out and make connections and network, that meant taking risks. And that meant going to places, putting myself out there, accepting invitations, exposing myself. So I'm calling it equal. All right, and now we're going to get to the last area, which I think is probably the most difficult for me to say which is better. And that's which area is better for privacy or if you are battling loneliness. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this series. If you are, please hit the like button. And if you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. Thanks again. Bye-bye.